I've never had any additional.
All right, welcome everybody to our meeting here today on this nice, cool fall day. Although it feels fantastic in here, a little toasty, doing well. We want to put everybody to sleep after lunch is what we were planning on doing. So with that, we'll go ahead and start the meeting. The first order of business is the approval of minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Minutes are approved. Resolution number 30107 regarding the Bay Aquatic Center.
Yes, Commissioners, we have before you a bid award for recommendation for the Flow Rider addition to the Bay Aquatic Center. You have a memo in your packet from Travis Kiefer. We did receive 2 bids for this particular project, and we recommend approval of the contract to Philco Construction Company, amount of $767,000, and then 10% contingency of $76,000. This has been approved by and reviewed by the HRD department as far as the goal participation is concerned. If you have any questions, Travis is here to answer those.
Very good. Is there any questions of Travis at this time? Come on up, sir.
Members of the commission, no, there's no questions, but I would like to introduce Councilman Sharp, who's been a champion of this project from the beginning, and Councilman Sharp may have a couple of points to add to this. So.
Fantastic.
Great.
Thank you.
John?
By all means, please.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. I just wanted to come and say I'm very glad to see the contract being awarded. As you know, we put in PIAC funds for this, and this will be only the second flow rider in Missouri. There's one down in Republic, Missouri, but there's no other one anywhere in the state. Schlitterbaum has one over in western Wyandotte County, and you may have seen the big billboards they had this summer in downtown Kansas City, the only one in the metro area. Well, they can't say that anymore. This should be a better one, but we put the PIAC funds in for this because we wanted the Bay to be as successful financially as it has in attendance. As you know, we had over 30,000 attend the first summer it was open. We beat that this last summer, even though we had some very bad weather as far as an outdoor aquatic feature in some months of the year, but we still exceeded the attendance from the year before. But we do need more paying customers, and that was why we wanted to have this feature, because we do feel it will attract young people. Of course, all of you are young to me, but people in their late teens and 20s from a wide area to come there, and hopefully they'll spend some money at other retail establishments in the area. And when the master plan was developed that the Park Board had approved previously, we always had that as part of the design, and there was a space set aside for it. So this will fill in that space, and we're just very thankful to see it. We had to cut back the hours some last summer because trying to reduce operating costs because the revenue wasn't as high as we'd like. So hopefully with this we can get a little longer hours, because we think this will really be a money draw. I've talked to the mayor of the Unified Government over in Wyandotte County, and he lives right by that water park and has kids, so he's there all the time, and he said there's always a line. So we want there to always be a line at the Bay too. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Councilman.
Thank you.
Are there any questions at this time? All right. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there a motion and second? Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. Resolution number 30108.
Yes, Commissioners, this matter relates to consent for a liquor license, Cafe Haitian. Tell us about it, Denise.
Right. We are, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We are listed as one of the eligible consenters on this due to a parcel of our property, which is at 103rd, basically in State Line, part of Indian Creek. The last board passed a resolution which said, because on occasion we wouldn't get the request for consents in a timely fashion, and we would miss some of them, and we would be listed as a consenter. when in fact it was not their intention to consent. So they passed a resolution that said, unless we specifically consent, our position is always that we will not consent. And that's largely to take into account use of alcohol that would leave a building and then be used on or near park property. We frequently get a request from a business that wants to sell packaged liquor, and then they're right across the street from the park, and that's not a use that we would like to encourage. So this, what we have previously done is when we've had a request from a restaurant or from an event venue where they plan to have alcohol served but within the context of the building, especially when there's a restaurant, and this, I believe, is just a wine and beer license in addition. We have generally looked at the matter to see whether we feel like the containment would not spill over into the amenity. So our recommendation, after having reviewed the request, is that we would recommend that we consent.
Very good. Any questions, comments on this? It's pretty straightforward.
I'll have a comment after we
Okay.
pass on the
so-
resolution.
All right. So would you like to make the motion to approve? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
I move
Okay.
approval.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
No motion seconded. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. Go ahead, yes, sir.
Well, the comment I would like to make is this is an issue where the Parks Board has some authority, but we, at this point in time, do not have authority on our boulevards and parkways. We have a couple of issues that have come up that we haven't been particularly happy with, that we have had to pass on because we do not have the authority. We're in negotiations to have the authority for permitting occupancies and uses along boulevards and parkways, and I think it becomes extremely important that we be given this authority we one time had, because we have a history and a legacy of our boulevards and parkways, and particularly in new areas of development, we need to continue that legacy. That's my comment.
Very well made. I think everybody on the commission and staff would agree with that statement, and it's something that is of the utmost priority for us from a legislative policy standpoint, and something that I think we're going to continue to push and work with our council and our mayor and city manager to get done. So looking forward to continuing to working on that front. Thank you. Okay, next item of business, resolution number 30109.
Yes, Commissioners, this is consideration of a contract amendment to professional services with Kemper Sports Management for our two Northland golf courses, Hodge Park and Shoal Creek. You have a memo in your packet from Doug Schroeder, and then I also know we have a representative here from Kemper Golf Management. And you want to give us a little background and kind of where we're going with this, Doug?
Sure.
Introduce our guests as well, and you might want to introduce Matt, who's also here today from Orion. These kind of go together, don't they?
Yeah, we have two amendments in front of you. Today we have Matt Roberts from Orion Management. He's the GM at Swope Memorial and also the vice president of the company. And Brett Plymel from Kemper Sports. He is the general manager of both Shoal Creek and Hodge Park golf courses. And the first one we have today is we're going to extend we would like to extend the contract for to Kemper Sports for Hodge Park and Shoal Creek golf courses. They, excuse me, I can't read. I have to get my glasses out. Contract began in 2011 and is going to terminate in 2014. So the original contract allowed for 2 years extension, and we'd like to offer that to them. They've done a real good job managing the golf courses. The condition of the golf courses are exceptional. We've recently upgraded them to Zoysia, Hodge Park to Zoysia, and the conditions are amazing, the difference it's made. And they are really good at communication between us and them, and they've done a really good job. So
Great.
Staff would recommend approval.
Very good. Is there any questions or comments?
Well, I would concur on the condition of the fairways and the greens, particularly at Shoal Creek. It's been excellent.
It's one of the top three in the state.
Mhm.
That's great.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's true.
Thank you.
Very good. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. Resolution number 30110. Let's talk about Heart of America golf courses. So.
It's Heart of America Minor Park and Swope Memorial.
Yep.
Once again, they've done an exceptional job at maintaining the golf courses. In fact, Swope again for the second year was rated the Visitor Choice Award for best golf course in the
Yes.
city. The Pitch rated them number 2 in the city, and also Heart of America was rated the best place to play a quick round. Fastest nine, which is the first time Heart of America's been recognized, which is really nice. They've made some staff changes to Heart of America and Minor Park in these last 4 years that have greatly increased the quality of the golf there.
fantastic.
Once again, they communicate with me regularly and do their best to adhere to budgets and to make the proper cuts when needed and things like
Very
that.
good. So who was number 1 if we were number 2?
It was the National private course, yeah.
Tom Watson.
Well, we'll get them next year.
Yeah.
All
Once
right.
again, staff recommends approval on this one.
All right, very good. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
Second. Second.
Motion seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you,
very
gentlemen.
Thank you,
Appreciate all your
gentlemen,
hard
very
work.
much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see, resolution number 30111.
Yes, Commissioners, this is a recommendation for a change order to D&D Custom Construction. It is laid out in the memo from Travis. There's a couple items that were done in change orders 1 and 2. Number 3 deals with some work out in front of this building that's going on for the improvements, and then also the parking lot of Hodge Park. Total of $99,885. If you have any questions, Travis is here to answer those.
Any questions to Travis on this time? Travis, anything you want to add about this? Pretty straightforward. All right. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. On to the director's report.
Yes, the first item is major construction. Travis?
That's pretty cool.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I just have one item that I put on your desk in front of you, and that has to do with the Big 12 Women's Soccer Championship took place this past week. And it was very interesting that this is the first time in 16 years that the event wasn't held in San Antonio, Texas. So when this was advertised last year, it was supposed to be played in Kansas City, Kansas on what was at that time called the Live Strong Field. So by getting this field accomplished in a timely manner, we were able to secure that tournament down here. Had a total of 2,787 fans attend this. And now this is not all the tickets are sold. These are people through the gate down here. And the largest single game attendance was 630. Now when you put that number in perspective, if you look at the average attendance of women's soccer across the entire Division I schools, that puts us somewhere in about between 30 and 35th place as far as average attendance, and that's looking at those schools' home attendance. So for a tournament, that having 630 at one game is pretty impressive.
That's great.
The Sunday championship was on Fox Sports Network, so it was televised on a national network. So you can see the picture on the back. What I found impressive, and I was talking to Lana about this earlier, that field looked as good on Sunday as it did on the Tuesday before, and that's the difference of having 350-pound linemen running up and down the middle of the field with cleats on, and having women on that field and spreading the action out across the field. So it's a simple matter of density and volume. Right there, so.
It's an absolutely beautiful field.
Yes,
I mean,
it
it's
could
just
not be
absolutely
nicer.
incredible
And
to
did we
see.
have any feedback from the various coaches, teams, Big 12 as to the
Big,
playing conditions?
I talked to David Ficklin with Sporting KC and SVP Soccer, and he indicated that Big 12 was very impressed with the fields, and they look forward to their continued relationship in the future. So
Well, they're back next year for sure, right?
that he didn't indicate that to me, but he
They're coming back next year.
okay. I didn't want to.
And there you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Travis.
Heidi?
It's amazing.
All right, well, I want to thank you all for coming out for the opening of the Swope Park Soccer Village. It wasn't the worst weather we've ever had for an opening, so yay for that.
That's true, that's what we were smiling at. Yeah, this is nuts.
I was a bit concerned. Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. So I think it was a really good event as well, followed by the soccer tournament. So thanks to everyone who was involved in that and for the weather. I'm passing out a couple of our holiday flyers. We, of course, the month of December, hit it hard and strong with celebrating our holidays. And you'll have there in front of you a list of all the holiday parties which take place at our community centers as well as Bruce R. Watkins. And you are invited to attend all of them if you would like. This year, again, we are partnering with the mayor's office, and they will be providing the toys for the kids who attend and qualify. They have to fill out a form, but who attend these parties. So that's a great partnership. We used to work with Toys for Tots, but we're running out of toys, and just the mayor stepped in to help take care of that. So that's a great partnership, of course. Other than that, we have our Santa's Wonderlands, as I've spoken about before. We are adding an additional Wonderland this year, and it's going to be that Thursday evening of the first weekend of December, and it will be over at Swope Park in Shelter 2. So hopefully we'll have a good turnout for that. And this cold weather just reminds me of Santa's Wonderland, so I'm already freezing, and I plan to be for about the next month. Yeah. So Veterans Day, of course, yesterday at the World War I Museum at Liberty Memorial. We have upcoming, a week from this Friday is the opening of Route 169 at 108th Street Interchange, which is now Shoal Creek Parkway. And, just on in turkey bowling at Line Creek, and then on with these holiday events. Another one that I'd like to add is that first Saturday in December is a visit from St. Nicholas at Shoal Creek Living History Museum. So we are not lacking for celebrating the holidays. People think that Parks and Rec doesn't do as much in the winter months as they do in the summer, and that's not true. December's one of our busiest months by far. So, and then of course I know you have on your calendar our Employee Awards Breakfast, and that is going to be at the National World War I Museum at Liberty Memorial. So we're excited about that kind of change in venue. And I have a cold, so I'm going to keep it short.
Very good.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. All right. Let's see, what do we have next? Public hearing, nobody has signed up today. Calendar review, Lana, do we don't, no, okay, good, okay, so let's look at the calendar really quick.
See if there's any, Heidi's, of course,
Heidi covered most of it, right?
touched a lot of stuff. I will mention this as we look at the remainder of this week. There's a meeting of the KC Platt Partners in Zona Rosa tomorrow. The Starlight Theater has their board meeting on the 19th. And Liberty Memorial has their board meeting on the 21st, which that's their annual meeting also, where they kind of go from their old meeting to their annual meeting on the 21st. And then Heidi mentioned the Shoal Creek 169 Highway Parkway Interchange ribbon cutting on the 22nd. And then if we get into that Thanksgiving week, and of course the offices are closed on the 28th and 29th. Our next board meeting is that same week, the week of the 26th. And then just quickly look at December in addition to all the holiday-related activities. We have one meeting currently scheduled in December, which is the 10th. And then, of course, Heidi did mention the breakfast on the 18th.
Great. Very good.
Also in your packet, Commissioners, I believe you have a copy of a memo from Doug Jones to the mayor regarding audits. This is audits in general, so it's not specific to parks. There's 4 of them listed there at the beginning. We will be part of that citywide audit on overtime, because that's overtime for all city departments. And then, of course, we're not really involved in the fire code or the municipal court docketing system. That's independent of us. The Kansas City Museum, I think you're aware of, that audit is currently on hold. Anyway, it's on hold. And then the community center facility use, they're developing a scope statement on that, and so we'll be seeing that scope statement once it is completed by the city auditor. And the other document you have in there, and Terry, you want to comment on that?
Yes, Commissioners, I gave this out to you a couple, maybe meeting before last, just as a brief, but wanted to let you know we have met with all the leagues in an open meeting on October 30th to talk about the new MOU and the new field priority policy, and just wanted to make sure we're going to be bringing this back to you at the next meeting for approval, the policy part, which is the priority setting, and just wanted to make sure if there were any comments that you could get those to us before we bring that back. The only pushback we've had at this point is some of the leagues are questioning the volunteer background screening. But under almost all of the guidelines, certainly from our national and our state associations, and even in talking with Lana, that's not something we want to give on, so. Our city ordinance requires about 4 years. So you may hear from them, but that's. Any questions?
So, attendance-wise, the groups that we wanted to get there showed up, and they all attended?
Absolutely. We actually had about 35 people in attendance, and some leagues brought more than one. And then the only league that wasn't well represented, and I think it was because the timing was right in the middle of playoffs for the Northland Suburban Football, but everybody else was represented.
Be good to make sure that they understand what's going on as well. So,
Yeah, it's not a huge change from the old facility use agreements to the new MOU, but there was enough that we felt like we needed to bring everyone together and talk through it.
Very good. Okay, thank you. Mark, anything else?
I have one other item let me pass down. This is a document that I received from a development team for the Switzer Elementary School over on the west side. This is headed up by a guy named Chip Welsh and also Bob Berkebile. I think most people are familiar with Bob Berkebile. And Delmark Development Group. And take this with you, and the first page has an aerial photograph of the Switzer Complex, which is a large complex.
Yes, it is.
Kansas City, Missouri School District property, I believe, and they're doing a redevelopment. This is the same team that's doing the Westport, I think it's either the Westport Middle School or the Westport High School. Right there.
Yeah, they're doing
High school. Yeah, same team. And so they're looking at the Switzer Complex, and the reason we have this is this runs adjacent to West Penway. So there's going to be some interface between this development and the Penway, so kind of coming to us early on.
Yeah.
And we've just started discussions with the development team, so they sent this over to us and got this to, I guess, about 10 days ago. So we're just kind of now looking through this.
Yep.
So I just want to leave it with you, and you can kind of look through it at your leisure, and then we can probably talk about it in the future. And so kind of another item that's kind of out there on radar right now as far as, which is hopefully a good development
Yeah, we hope so.
adjacent to West Penway.
That'd be great. Those buildings have been sitting vacant for a long,
yeah.
long time, and been a huge eyesore
Yeah.
and deterioration of that neighborhood, so.
Yeah, and it's, right there next to the library and across the street from the community center. So
And it sits on, like I said, on the downside of it, on the west side of it, sits on West Penway and some of the triangles there, we
Yeah.
have part.
yeah, and that's kind of how it interfaces up those triangles there at Bellevue and West Penway. So there could be a couple options there where it gets a little bit closer to us, so we'd have to have some kind of a joint working agreement with a group
Yeah.
like this.
I'm glad to see that they're taking an initiative on this, so, great. Okay,
That's it.
thank you. All right, any other business? Hearing none, meeting is adjourned.